Someone is confused about your silence. It's too loud. They don't know why you left in the first place. They thought you were going to help them, but you left instead. You left when I needed you, is what they feel. You will always be the one who got away. Open invitation. Wishing they could just talk to you again. Not sure what they did. But they feel like they really messed up. If this is for you, your spirit showed you who this is about. Yeah, they feel like it was just one thing after another, like it never lined up, but there was something here that should have happened. But you seem happy without them. You will only be alone if you want to be. Bad influences. Open invitation again. Too many cards that come out when they're supposed to. Happy without them. They are afraid to reach out. Because they could if they wanted to. They need to get over themselves. Bad influences. They are taking really bad advice from people. Because they've gotten kind of desperate. They've told people their side of the story. Like the bad advice is based on their bad version of events, you know? But they want people to agree with them because they want to be convinced that they're right. They're basically just trying to get their nerve up to see what you'll say. Like, but they've got to really get their nerve up. They're just too ashamed, too embarrassed. Yeah, see, you might have gone away, but they realize they did something. They're just afraid to know what it is. Emotional exhaustion. They're afraid you're not even going to tell them because you're just emotionally exhausted by the whole thing. And they wouldn't blame you. I'm going to the What's the Vibe Oracle deck. Consequences. Bad choices, games, mixed signals. They're dealing with the consequences of their actions. Even though they learned they wouldn't make this mistake again, there are certain things they wouldn't do again. It doesn't mean they still aren't reaping the karma from that. They feel like they've done this over and over. Whatever this mistake is that they made with you is something they've done over and over. Not pleased with themselves. They might have just taken a sudden trip. That's not for everybody. I'm actually getting like someone boarding a plane. Like, just to deflect, this person might be suddenly posting about a trip on social media just to have something to post about. To brag. This is someone who does that, okay? This is someone who, if they post something, especially if they haven't posted in a while, and suddenly they're posting, it's because they're trying to control a narrative about themselves. Like, this is someone who does that. This is someone who, if they haven't posted in a while especially, but even if they do post regularly, if they're posting personal stuff, question it because there's a reason they're posting it. Like, the kind of person who would post a lot of stuff to make people jealous. Even if it's not about the friends. Like, they could post that they're going someplace alone. They just want to be seen doing something so that they're not sitting around feeling sorry for themselves. But anyway, that's not for everybody. If it's not trips, it's something. Like, they just want people to know that they're okay. That they're not upset because they don't want to admit that this really hurt them. Wow, drowning. Longing. Burned bridges. Harmony. Two-faced. They feel like bridges are burnt now. They're longing for you, but they feel like they're drowning. Like they're really putting up a false front. Okay, that's what the whole thing about the story is telling me. Like the, in fact, story, the fact that whatever they post on their stories. Anyway, I'm not trying to say you need to give this person more attention because that's what they want, especially stories. They want to see what people are watching. They want to see if you or certain other people are watching. Yeah. They honestly have a trail of people. Yeah. A trail of people they feel like they have just messed up with, and they, you know, I heard this a long time ago that narcissists, which I think we're all narcissistic to an extent, but true narcissists, for whatever reason, a lot of times will continue to look at all their exes, anyone they had a connection with, even if it's not really truly an ex, on social media. Like they'll stalk you forever, look at your profile for forever, even if they never contact you. They're no, I don't want to say constantly looking at it, but they're looking at it. Like there's a part of them that just kind of doesn't give up or feels some kind of way. It's weird, but they just don't want to show their true emotions. They really mask their emotions a lot. A lot. They're also a loner. Like, they are a bit ashamed of how much they're alone. Like, it's one thing to be alone a lot. It's another to be ashamed of it. You know, like, this person feels ashamed of that for some reason. Like, they want people to think that they have this big, happy social life when maybe they don't have a social life at all. It's weird. Like, this person has a lot of issues. A lot of issues. A lot of subconscious reasons to have a false front. A lot of masking. They feel like they are two-faced. Like, in a way, like they feel like other people are two-faced to them, but they know they're two-faced to other people. They don't want to be that way. They want to live in harmony. I got this harmony card, but they know they've burned bridges with people. They really don't know how to fix this. It's really sad, actually. It's sad. Because they have messed up a lot of things in their life. And they really don't know what to do about that. They're angry because they feel like you could have helped them and you didn't, and there must be some reason. They're afraid to know the reason. A lot of confusion. A lot of heavy emotions. Spill tea, Oracle deck. Very heavy emotions come through here. Circle of drama. Okay, that's what's making the emotion even heavier, because it involves other people who just won't shut up about this. Some people just need to shut up. Yeah, they just need to stop running their mouths about this situation, whatever it is. They're also talking to the wrong people. Look, watch that. Like, I get this download a lot to tell you, be careful even venting, especially venting to the wrong people, because other people know how to really get you stirred up again. And what's really sad is I think a lot of times, like, let's say you end up venting to someone, a lot of times it's because they ask you how it was going or ask you about something, and they just want to have something to talk about. Or maybe they think they're doing you a favor by making you talk about it. And it's just conversation. It's just space filler. And all it does really, I mean, look, every word is precious. Every thought is precious. Every word you speak, everything you see, everything affects your thoughts, whether you think it does or not. You have to really be strong and be mindful of that. Like, really guard your thoughts. Just being aware, honestly, starting with just being aware that everything could affect your thoughts. So that definitely goes back to who you talk to, because I know even places I've worked, certain people knew how to get me in a bad mood really fast, and not just me, but other people as well. Certain people know how to ruin your day for whatever reason, like get you talking about something or get you riled up. They think it's funny to get you riled up, whatever, like get you distracted. Some people really know how to do that. Be careful of those people. Financial prosperity, all is forgiven. Keep going. For this person and also for you, for whatever reason, I'm getting that there's going to be more forgiveness. Like, a lot of what's going on with this person is they're bringing it in, and it could be you too, and this could just be something to listen to, pay attention to. But like, if you keep thinking that you're messing up everything, that you sabotage everything, then you're going to sabotage everything. Because for one thing, you're wasting all this time worried about it. Just your anxiety alone. It's like that. I've just seen it so many times. I've seen it happen in my own life. In hindsight, I'm like, gosh, it's like if you don't stay focused, of course you're going to drop what you're carrying. It's hard to explain. I hope you get what I'm saying here. It's all about focus. Focus, focus, focus. I've been getting that download so much. Really, if you can just spend focused time off of technology doing things that matter, financial prosperity, like work on projects that, unfortunately, a lot of times what's going on is, our lives are so online. And when I talk about stuff you can do for money, a lot of times I'm talking about online stuff or stuff that's somehow based online. It doesn't have to be social media content creation, but a lot of times it is, because a lot of people are doing that. I mean, that's, a societal shift, a cultural shift, and people want to start with what makes money, but you got to start with what you love, because if you just start with what makes money, you're going to be stuck fast, really fast. As soon as it goes in a bad direction, it's something you don't want to do. No. You got to figure something out, but keep going. This is about This is about some kind of project, like I said, could be anonymous. Like someone afraid to put themselves out there, afraid they're just going to sabotage it. But really, the worry, the fear of never starting it is what's sabotaging it. That's what I mean. Nothing sabotages something worse than wasted time. Wasted effort, of course. So you want to plan accordingly so you don't waste a bunch of time on something. But you know, a lot of times you know what to do. You know what to do. It's just there's procrastination. There's all this stuff that wants our attention, venting to people, doom scrolling, doing stuff that just doesn't matter. You need to set aside time to work on what you want to work on, because I don't know about you guys, but the days just seem like they're going by like nothing. A month feels like a day to me anymore. It's just going by too fast. Focus on what you love, what gives you passion, what you're passionate about, what drives you, not what burns you out. Speak good things, like this thing about somebody saying they're sabotaging. You know, I always run off the right people. That's what this person's saying, like this whole time, that kind of stuff. If they keep saying that, it's going to happen because you're going to waste all this time worried about it. You're going to, honestly, anxiety can turn people into very abusive people before they even realize it. They don't realize what other people are going through as a result of dealing with their anxiety and their fear, their emotion, as a result of tiptoeing around their emotion. If a person's always living in fear, that, you know, they always need reassurance that you're not going anywhere or whatever. Constantly need compliments, constantly need attention. That's something this person really needs to work on, because that's the vibe I've gotten this whole time. That emotional exhaustion card came out. They just don't realize what a problem this is. They need to learn to be a bit more self-sufficient. But this person could drag you down. Like as far as financial prosperity, that works into this somehow with the rest of this reading. Like it could be something that you thought about working on, working with someone on, and ended up not. And it could even be in the context of a romantic relationship where you wanted to do that. Like, I mean, look at all the couples, people doing TikTok shop together. And honestly, stuff like TikTok shop, that's where you're going to do the best with partners, with people, but they actually have to have a stake in it. That's what I mean about partners. It's people who, you know, the better you do, the more money you make, the more time you put into it, the more work you put into it, even if it's just planning. Because, I mean, you can, if you do the right amount of planning, you can do the videos fast, okay? But the problem with partnerships like that, with stuff like, you know, let's say you were in a relationship, a friendship, roommate, because I've seen people in roommate type of stuff do that. Like, it's hard because then you gotta honestly have something in writing about, like, what if it goes south? What if you break up? You gotta have something in writing beforehand. You know, like, where does it end? Where that could be what this is. There's something about this wrapped into it. Like someone who's thought about doing something on social media, a podcast, writing, it could be anonymously, but something that you want to work on together. Look, it is wonderful when you can find people. I wish I could find more people to work on stuff, but they have to be as driven as you are, because, like I said, the time that gets wasted. A lot of times, look, I feel like I'm supposed to share this. This goes through my mind a lot. And this is, yes, it's for this reading. It's just the vibe of this reading. Something that gets brought up a lot is people saying stuff like they want to form a community. And I think about this a lot. I've been thinking about community building a lot, but I'm not really the builder. I'm more the planner and the one who sends information to people. I'm not really the organizer. It's hard to explain, but anyway. So many times people mentioned like a community of women, let's say, like living together, or, you know, a community, whatever, people help each other. Well, here's the thing. When you do creative work for a living, and I can only speak for myself, but I know I'm speaking for thousands and thousands, possibly millions of other people. I know that. When you do creative work, even if that work is content creation, whatever, there is a lot of mental energy involved and a lot of creative flow. Even if you have your workday planned out, even if you know what you're going to do, there's still creative processes, creative flow. And a long time ago, when I've switched from being the logical person who used to do accounting to do more creative work, something switched in my brain, and it happens to a lot of people. And I used to work with people who, like back when I was doing accounting, corporate accounting, staff accountant, stuff like senior accountant, that was my job title, stuff like that. I remember I had a job where I had to get people's timesheets in. It was a creative company. And I used to get so frustrated because they'd be like, oh, I can't think about my timesheet. It's too left-brained. It's too left-brained. Like, it's too, it hurts my brain to think about doing my timesheet. And I'd get so mad. I'd be like, it's 5 minutes. And it was for revenue purposes. People think it's payroll, it's revenue. Anyway, there's nothing more important than calculating revenue. Now I get it. I judge those people harshly because then I became one of those people. Now I'm one of those people where it hurts my brain to get out of my creative flow. It's like getting woken up out of a dream. Even doing this. Here's what I'm getting to. If there's a community of people to be built, I can't have a community where someone's constantly ringing my doorbell, knocking on my door, asking me to listen to a problem or help them with something. I mean, because it could take me hours to get back in my creative flow, and then I'm just going to end up moving off to a cave someplace where no one can bother me. They're living on top of a mountain with a moat around me where no one can get to me. Look, that's the only way I can get stuff done, is to be left alone for hours and hours and hours. I mean, not even one little interruption. It better be worth it. It better be necessary, you know? The hardest thing when you get people working together, because that's definitely the vibe here too, is somebody needs to hear this. The hardest thing when you get people working together, because I've noticed it so many times, like even moving. Like one time I was moving and I had a lot of people helping me. I was very grateful for that. But, you know, I had furniture, I had stuff that, I mean, I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't had a team of people in a big moving truck. And all I really did was sit back and direct. It was very nice. Well, there were times it was hard because people wouldn't listen because they were talking, because there were so many people. There was, 10, 15 people all talking, and it's like, hey, I'm trying to get their attention, but they're talking amongst themselves, okay? And it's like, we're trying to get this over with. So, and I'm not trying to be bossy or mean or anything. It was just something I noticed. It's like a psychological thing that happens when people are around each other. I've noticed also, like anytime I have tried to work with someone creatively on content creation, very few times I've ever tried. It ended up just being social hour. It's like someone has to really have a plan. Like you have to have someone with a plan and stay focused on that plan and get things done. Like you have to really be like-minded and be focused on the same thing. It can't be like one of you wants to work and the other one's going through a breakup and wants to talk about it, and just doesn't feel like it. Because that's the problem with creative work, is people want to wait till they feel like it. And sometimes you have to inspire yourself. You have to get yourself into feeling like it. That's why it can be hard to get out of that flow when someone wants to interrupt you because they have a problem, when it's something they could have gone to someone else with. Because not everybody's like that. Not everybody has to focus so much like people like me. Some of us do. ADHD, autism. Some of us have to focus. That's the only way we get things done. Otherwise, honestly, it feels like somebody's just smacking you around all day. I've been going through this for years. But anyway, somebody needed to hear that. This is a situation where the emotional exhaustion, this is someone who, in the right environment, I'm getting they may not be as emotionally exhausting. They feel like there's a lot working against them because they had to fit in with an environment where you knew them. And that can happen. Sometimes you do know people outside of a certain place, like you only know them at work and you know them somewhere else and they seem different. And it's not their fault. It's just they have to wear a certain mask at work, or you have to wear a customer service mask some places, for example. But like, the point is, this is someone who can't be given a lot of time, or they're going to end up becoming emotionally exhausting. They need to be kept on task. If they have too much free time on their hands, they're going to find something to do, and it's going to waste everybody's time. I hope that makes sense. You have to really be like-minded. Like when you're working on creative stuff especially, I mean, it's like you have to be deadline focused and protect your time above all else, because it's somehow working for yourself. I think something snaps in people's brains, at least if they haven't done it. Because I used to get people so mad at me thinking, well, you're home all the time. You should be able to answer the phone. You should be able to talk whenever I want to talk. You should be able to drop everything for me. I had a neighbor one time who, she was an elderly woman, thought that I should be able to drop everything to go give her a ride whenever she needed it. A lot of people underestimate, it's like it might just be a few minutes, but it's not really. It's not, when it leads to other things. When, a few minutes here, it leads to something starts as 5 minutes, ends up an hour. Ends up leading to other things that are also time wasters. When I'm telling you, when you work for yourself, you have got to be militant with your time. People think that if you're home, you're not busy, that you're not working, that your thoughts don't matter, that, you know, you can always schedule time. You know, you can always say, you know what, I'll be available in the evenings from this time to this time or whatever. This will be free time to come and talk to me. But you can't just, this thing where everybody expects you to drop everything to answer their text message, their email, their phone call. No. That's what's killing everybody. That's really, did you know that doom scrolling is shrinking people's hippocampus? That's in your brain. That's even part of your third eye. It's shrinking it, the low attention span. Because also we're so used to just getting interrupted 50 times a day, 500 times a day. People think that they're getting stuff done in the midst of it. They're really not. Rarely are they getting stuff done. Unless they can get it done in short, focused spurts, they're really not getting stuff done. Point is, financial prosperity, good things coming. Keep going. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, to be militant about your time, you know, to not let anybody waste your time. To just make sure that you're not giving into conversations where people are just busy, trying to busy themselves by getting in your business, by hearing you go off about something. To them, it's bonding a lot of times. Really. You have positive thoughts. Okay, this is key. Try to keep your thoughts in a positive direction. Even have positive self-talk, like inner dialogue. Say good things to yourself. Don't let anyone trick you otherwise, because people are always nagging at your energy, like trying to suck at your energy. They want to drag you down with them. Okay? I'm telling you, I'm getting a sense of someone who wants you to have, they want you to match their vibe, and that could be why you had to get away from this person before. Be on lookout for it now. Anyone who you're around them for a while, and your thoughts suddenly change. Why is that? Is it because of something they're talking about, something they got you talking about, something you weren't thinking about till them? What's up with that? What's going on? Okay? Have a good, positive inner dialogue, if nothing else. Outer as well, but inner too, okay? You have positive thoughts. It is spoken, it is written, and so it is. Amen.